Okay, so we got a new problem with the Trojan Yacht today. This is kind of a confounding one. Any of you guys have one of these old boats or something like it? Hopefully this will be helpful. Um, Went to start both engines up and they started fine. Got a bit of a rainstorm and I had this open. I managed to close it up, but I didn't get the side ones or the back fully closed. So this area got wet. Okay, nothing major, but it got a little bit wet. There's a plastic that goes over top of the gauges. It didn't look like there was any water got into it. But what happened when I went back to start up after, I couldn't get the starboard engine started. It would only start whenever it was cranking, or so I thought. And I thought, okay, well, it's sort of like a ballast resistor problem. This has the Twin Chrysler 400s. I had a spare ballast resistor, went and tried it, no dice. And I came back to the helm and I was fooling around with it a little bit. I start the port engine and no problem. I go to start the starboard engine and it would fire when it was turning. But it really sounded like the exhaust was coming from the port side. And what was going on was both ignition switches were starting the port engine. And the reason the port engine would only run whenever it was cranking is because the port ignition switch was off. The starboard ignition switch was given 12 volts whenever it was cranking, and when you let go, nothing. Now, why in the heck would it do that? I'm learning this as I go. There's an emergency start button under here that apparently it never did this, to my knowledge, properly. And what the problem turned out being, it would explain it. It's supposed to start both engines on a push button only. And the way it worked is, after digging into it and tracing wires, on this side there is a bridge rectifier, old school bridge rectifier, with essentially the starboard ignition switch goes here. This side gets fed out of that emergency switch, which comes out of the start on the port engine, and then the red here goes to feed the start relay or solenoid, whenever on the starboard engine. To cap it all off, there's also was a great big diode under there, underneath this, not linked to it in any way, that only had one wire on it, one red wire that also goes to the starboard start. I haven't fully figured that out yet, but this here was what was allowing the emergency start button to work. But either I didn't see it get wet, but regardless, the problem was it was letting the start signal from the starboard ignition switch feed back to the left to the port engine and crank the port engine, but then of course it wouldn't stay started because its key was off. So I've been unable to find a replacement for this, at least today. I found one online. I don't know how much I care about the emergency circuit. I may fix it later properly, but in the meantime, the easy way to do it is just to take from your starboard ignition switch, in this case the one that's malfunctioning. The switch is working fine, but they were both starting the port engine. And take the wire from that straight to the wire going to the starboard engine start, and it works perfectly. Now, I'm going to wire it up like this for now. And then this other wire, the other green wire that's in here somewhere, this is the one that comes from that momentary emergency start switch. I'm just going to cap that off for now. If I can get another rectifier that I can hook it up to have it work as original, I suppose that's desirable in case something ever happened and you need to start it quickly. It was just a matter of getting out there for the day, take this off, and it's easy to connect them together, but that hasn't been a whole lot of fun. There's a lot of screws. You can't do that in 2 minutes. So that's going to be the solution for today. And as that is connected, That is the starboard engine. And if I go to start the port engine, it's now going also. And we can see in the instruments, port, starboard. So, yet another one of these weird quirks with these old boats. I also double checked all the gauges and everything work fine with it just wired simple like this. So what I'm going to do is connect this together and heat shrink it and cap off the other green. I'm going to cap off the mystery red also. It appears to be a smaller, older wire, this one down here, that came off this massive diode. And I'm going to cap that off for now and just label them. And this will, function pretty much the same as any other boat does. But if you guys ever have this problem with these old Trojans or any other old boat of the 70s era, this may well be your problem. It was so tricky because I thought I was hearing things, but I'm one guy trying to do this, and I didn't originally think to go downstairs and see what engine was turning. Of course, you can't really do both at the same time, but you can hear. Anyway, hopefully this has been helpful to one of you guys. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again.